Warner Brown lays it off for Fabian Reed. The turnaround is settled.
Will Mount Pleasant break their own points record? Will Phillip Williams be the right man to bring the title back to the jungle? We answer all this and more on this Mount Pleasant and Arnett Gardens season preview. Yeah, people, welcome back to JPL Fan. We are only a few short days away from the start of another JPL season, and we will close off our season previews with last season's top 2. We begin in the jungle where there's a new man in charge. Former Portmore United head coach Phillip Williams was hired in the off-season after the departure of influential Xavier Gilbert. Williams is a well-respected coach himself, but he stepped into arguably the league's most pressuring head coach position. I mean, Arnett Gardens were near perfect last season, finishing second in the table with 76 points and netting a whopping 74 goals. That tally was second only to Mount Pleasant, but despite that, there were some fans who demanded more from the team. Arnett also worked on their defensive weaknesses from the previous season, which allowed them to strike the right balance. What we ended up getting from that balance was some of the most entertaining football you will see from a local Jamaican club. Excluding Waterhouse and Tivoli Gardens fans, I'm quite sure majority of JPL fans enjoyed watching this Arnett Gardens team play football last season. However, despite all this swagger in the regular season, Arnett looked impotent in the playoffs and were knocked out fairly easy by eventual champions Cavalier. So another league title escaped the jungle's grasp, but now it's Phillip Williams' turn to try and end the drought. And we'll be hoping his team quickly forget defense of their CFU Shield in the summer and start the upcoming season on the right note. Because, as we all know, the jungle only accepts winners. Key arrivals and departures. Xavier Gilbert wasn't the only one to depart the club over the summer, as few of the first team also packed their bags. Left back Philando Wing departed and joined Montego Bay United as well. Left winger Kimani Arborn is now playing his football in Guatemala. Young winger Kevon McGregor was transferred to New Boys Treasure Beach. Harborview came in and took centre back Shamari Dwyer. Goalkeeper Tara Williams was also released, but of course, no departure was bigger than the league goalie boot winner Warner Brown, who made a big money move to Mount Pleasant. But there were some decent incomings as well, like 19-year-old defender J.L.I. Smith, who joined from Cavalier. The very talented Demar Deacon rejoins the club from Champton Maroons. 20-year-old midfielder Dexter Manning follows his new head coach from Tivoli Gardens as well. And for some reason, Arnett believed they need a bajillion goalkeepers as they went out and signed 2 more in Shakir Adair and Ricardo White, both coming from Vera Phoenix United. But arguably, the best piece of business this transfer window was re-signing club legend Fabian Reed and Jaheim Thomas to new contracts. Key player to watch. Warner Brown was the jungle's brightest star last season, and his departure means there's room for someone else to step up. And I feel that man is Rashiki Kelson. Over the last 2 seasons, the young attacker has showed in brief flashes his enormous talent and potential. He displayed towards the end of last season that he's ready to become a leader on this team, and I think this season he will be Arnett's main star. Their main aim this season. The fans will always demand a title, so management will always echo similar wishes in public, but I suspect privately, given this is Phillip Williams' first season in charge, they would accept at least a semi-final appearance. My prediction. Admittedly, the CFU Shield came way too early in Phillip's era as a means to gauge where exactly this team is, but in those 2 matches in Trinidad, you could already see some potential problems with the team this season. No question, Williams will be doing things his own way, but there may be some missteps this season where the team tries to adapt to his way of playing while trying to mirror the attacking defensive balance they found under Gilbert last season. Plus, the 22 goals from Warner Brown will have to be replaced somehow, so the rest of the front line has some work to do. And for all these reasons, I believe it will be a step back season for the Junglists. They will still make the playoffs, but don't expect them to do much once they get there. But that's all I have on the Junglists. Now we turn our attentions to the monsters of the JPL, Mount Pleasant. For 99.99% of the 2024 to 2025 season, everything went right for the St. Anne-based club. This time last year, they announced the return of head coach Tapper Whitmore and his coaching staff after the disastrous start in their Caribbean Cup campaign, and then they simply never looked back. Mount Pleasant would go on to absolutely decimate league opponents over the next 9 months and 39 rounds of football. They were effectively an unstoppable juggernaut with an attack that produced a staggering 94 goals and a defense that only gave up a measly 21 goals. It was literally something that the top flight in Jamaica has never seen before, and it was officially etched in the league history after they broke the record for the most points in a single season with their 93 points. And I can already see you all rolling your eyes, saying of course they did, since they had the most money to buy all the league's best talent. But I think this opinion is a great injustice and incomplete, as we cannot overlook the numerous youth players that were given significant minutes by Tapper Whitmore last season. The only wrinkle, they were once again stopped by Rudolph Speed's Cavalier on the final day to again miss out on the league title, but they already shrugged that off and geared themselves up for something much greater. This offseason, they once again bought some impressive pieces to add to their squad as they signaled their intent for both domestic and regional glory. But they also shattered barriers and purchased a third division club in Belgium as a means to look forward towards their future. Honestly, if you're a Mount Pleasant fan, you could not be any happier with how the club is being run. Key arrivals and departures. Each transfer window is now a major event, with all JPL fans eagerly awaiting what Mount Pleasant will do next. And this window, they didn't disappoint. The first big move was the purchase of Racing's Ronaldo Biggs. Then they made a shock move of buying back their midfielder Demara Phillips from Montego Bay United. Despite having 2 good goalkeepers already, they went ahead and got Cameron Foster from Waterhouse. Mount Pleasant has recently become a second home for Asian footballers, and that continued with both Raphael Interville and Daniel St. Fleur joining from Real Hope. But the big blockbuster purchase was that of last season goalie boot winner Warner Brown from Arnett Gardens. As for departures, Mount Pleasant allowed veteran fullback Sean McFarlane to move to Racing United. Attacking winger Shamar Smith returned to Mobay United. Forward Nicholas Nelson rejoined his former team Dumbo Olin on loan, and veteran centre-back Kevin Graham was officially released to go and play his football somewhere else. But remember, I mentioned they purchased a new club in Belgium. Well, while not official at this time of recording, but it seems a few of their starting 11 will be transferring to their new sister club before the close of the transfer market, which includes Captain Sule McCullough, homegrown winger Devontae Campbell, and national goalkeeper Shaquan Davis. Key player to watch. When it comes to an all-star team such as this one, it could be quite difficult to highlight just one key player to watch, but this time it's quite easy. It got to be Reggae boy Warner Brown. He may have had the worst possible club debut in the last night Caribbean Cup, but with Jamaica's World Cup qualifiers coming quick and fast, his game will definitely be under the microscope. Will he match last season's tally of 22 goals? It will be a fascinating watch to see this question answered. Their main aim this season. You don't spend this kind of cash and not aim to win it all. JPL title, the Caribbean Cup title, and even the CONCACAF Champions Cup title, Mount Pleasant want it all. My prediction. At this point, we don't even need to debate whether they will be first in the league, but rather how far will they be from the rest of the pack. Once again, they made the right moves in the transfer market. Their impressive academy products are a year older, and Tapper had a full preseason with his squad. All of these point to a club once again breaking their own points tally. Sure, their run in the Caribbean Cup will test them, and if Sule McCullough ends up leaving, they will lose a big personality in the team. But this squad is so stacked that they should handle it all with ease. I can't see them failing to win this league this time around, even if they face Cavalier in the final. But alright guys, that is all 14 clubs done and dusted. All we got to do now is wait for the launch of the JPL 2025-2026 season starting this Sunday on August 24th. It should be another great watch for the next 9 months, and let me know in the comment section below your predictions of who will win the title this time around, or even the 2 teams that will be relegated. Otherwise, please like, subscribe and share as we look to keep you all up to date on everything on the JPL throughout the new season. Otherwise, with great JPL content, you're already at the right place, JPL fan. YouTube, big up yourself.